we're going to be making is chocolate fudge flourless cookies. So I'm going to start by letting you know what you're going to need for today. So first off, you're going to need icing sugar. You're also going to need table or kosher salt, whichever you have in the house. You'll need cocoa powder, 2 eggs, chocolate chips. I got the mini ones because I like them more. And at home, if you have vanilla, that's an option as well. For this recipe, you're going to need a few different materials. You're going to need a separate bowl to separate your eggs. You're going to need measuring cups, both 1 cup down to a 1/4 cup, as well as a 1/2 teaspoon up to a tablespoon. You're going to need a large mixing bowl, a rubber or wooden spatula, and a parchment paper lined cookie sheet. To begin, set your oven to 350 degrees. If you need help from Mom or Dad, make sure that you ask. To begin, start by combining your icing sugar, your salt, and your cocoa powder. If you're using salt like this from a large container, make sure you don't pour it over the bowl as to risk too much spilling in. Once you've added all 3 of your dry ingredients, mix thoroughly until the chocolate cocoa powder has completely disappeared and your entire mixture is a light brown color. So this is probably the hardest part of the recipe, and if you need Mom and Dad here, this is the time that I would ask. We're going to now separate our eggs because for this recipe we only need the egg whites. So the way that we do that is in a separate bowl, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. We crack the egg, and we make sure that we hold the egg vertically. What will happen is a lot of the egg white will fall, and we're going to go back and forth between both halves of the eggshell until more and more of the egg white falls into the bowl. Be very careful, because if any egg yolk gets into our mixture, it will compromise the texture of our cookies. Next, we're going to add our chocolate chips. Next, add the egg whites. At this point, we're going to gently fold the dough until we have a nice, smooth texture. At this point, I would add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla if you have it and if you want to. At this point, we want to let our dough sit for about 20 minutes, just so that we can get a shinier finish on the cookies after we've cooked them. So let it sit on the counter for 20 minutes before you put them in the oven. If you have an ice cream scoop, you can use that to scoop your cookies out onto your cookie sheet. Today I'll be using 2 spoons. bigger. So for me, this recipe actually only made 9. But for you, this might make up to 12 cookies. Be careful when you're taking the cookies out of the oven. Make sure you're using oven mitts, and if you need help, ask Mom and Dad. If you have a cooling rack at home, once the cookies have been out of the oven for 5 minutes, gently lift the parchment and transfer the cookies to that cooling rack. Once your cookies have cooled, feel free to enjoy and continue living the dream.